Prime Minister Narendra Modi's conversation with US podcaster and AI researcher Lex Fridman was released this evening. In a nearly 3-hour conversation with Fridman, Prime Minister Modi delved into his views on leadership, diplomacy and personal discipline. The episode marks Prime Minister Modi's second podcast appearance this year, following his January discussion with Zerodha co-founder Nikhil Kamath. During the conversation, Prime Minister Modi emphasized the collective identity he represents as India's leader and highlighted India's role in promoting global peace.
My strength lies not in my name, but in the backing of 1.4 billion Indians and thousands of years of timeless culture and heritage. So wherever I go, I carry with me the essence of thousands of years of Vedic tradition, the timeless teachings of Swami Vivekananda, and the blessings, dreams, and aspirations of 1.4 billion Indians. When I shake hands with a world leader, it's not Modi, but 1.4 billion Indians doing so. So this isn't my strength at all. It is rather the strength of India. Whenever we speak of peace, the world listens to us. Because India is the land of Gautam Buddha and Mahatma Gandhi, and Indians aren't hardwired to espouse strife and conflict. We espouse harmony instead. We seek neither to wage war against nature nor to foster strife among nations. We stand for peace, and wherever we can act as peacemakers, we have gladly embraced that responsibility.
And Prime Minister Modi also discussed his diplomatic efforts, recalling how he invited Pakistan to his swearing-in ceremony as an olive branch.
After getting their own way, we expected them to live and let live. And yet, they chose not to foster a harmonious coexistence. Time and again, they decided to be at odds with India. They have waged a proxy war against us. Don't mistake this for ideology. What kind of ideology thrives on bloodshed and the export of terror? And we are not the sole victims of this menace. Wherever terror strikes in the world, the trail somehow leads to Pakistan. Let's take the September 11th attacks, for example. The main mastermind behind it, Osama bin Laden, where did he eventually emerge from? He had taken refuge in Pakistan. The world has recognized that, in a way, terrorism and the terrorist mindset are deeply rooted in Pakistan. Today, it stands as an epicenter of turmoil, not just for India, but for the world. And we have repeatedly asked them, what good can come from this path? We have urged them to abandon the path of state-sponsored terrorism for good. What do you hope to gain by surrendering your nation to lawless forces? I even personally traveled to Lahore in the pursuit of peace. When I became Prime Minister, I specially invited Pakistan to my swearing-in ceremony so we could turn over a new leaf. Yet, every noble attempt at fostering peace was met with hostility and betrayal. We sincerely hope that wisdom prevails upon them and they choose the path of peace. I believe even the people of Pakistan long for peace because even they must be weary of living in strife and unrest. They must have grown weary of relentless terror, where even innocent children are killed and countless lives are destroyed.
And in the interview, Prime Minister Modi reflected on the 2002 Gujarat riots, emphasizing that India's Supreme Court had twice upheld his innocence in the case. Responding to a question on the communal violence which resulted in over 1,000 deaths, Modi outlined the volatile atmosphere in the years leading up to the riots.
It was only around February 24th, 25th, or 26th that I stepped into the Gujarat Assembly for the very first time. On February 27th, 2002, we were seated in the assembly for the budget session. And that same day, it had been just 3 days since I'd become a state representative when suddenly the horrific Godhra incident occurred. It was a tragedy of unimaginable magnitude. People were burned alive. You can imagine, against the backdrop of incidents like the Kandahar hijacking, the attack on parliament, or even 9/11. And then to have so many people killed and burned alive, you can imagine how tense and volatile the situation was. Of course, this was tragic for everyone. Everyone prefers peace. The perception that these were the biggest riots ever is actually misinformation. If you review the data from before 2002, you'll see that Gujarat faced frequent riots. Curfews were constantly being imposed somewhere. Communal violence could erupt over trivial issues like kite flying contests or